Welcome back. Another Sean Kiracofe show, as it is, I guess, become unofficially or officially maybe Pac-12 week for Northwestern volleyball. Played UCLA on Monday. Now we're headed off to Washington State this weekend for 3 matches up there. Before we even talk about that, though, coming off that match on Monday, expected to play on Tuesday. I know there was some disappointment for you, probably also for the girls as well, to not be able to come out the next night and really see if we were able to capitalize on the solid performance we had on Monday.
You're absolutely correct. I think that had a bigger effect than we would have anticipated. Not that you anticipate there to be a canceled match for us, but yeah, no, it was a big disappointment to not be able to carry over what we did on Monday into Tuesday, but you know, it happened.
Yeah. So not be able to play the match, but getting that practice. So what was the energy like? What was the mode like in practice yesterday when you're expecting a match, waking up that morning and then switching gears, pretty quickly?
Well, shocker, we did not practice. So we have a thing to where for birthdays, if you can serve a half-court shot and make it, then they get out of practice. It was made. So much to my dismay. Yeah. Now I hate that I've started the tradition, but we did not practice.
Okay, well, there you go. So it takes us into this weekend. Some tough matches. You got Washington State to start things off, Tulsa and Drake, 3 really good teams that we're facing off this weekend. Just thoughts going into another tough weekend of tournament play.
This is going to be a very difficult weekend. Washington State is, I believe, they're top 15 now that they moved up to. They have 3 players scoring over 3 points per set, which is phenomenal. They're very good. They will be, from a system standpoint, similar to UCLA, but they're just a little bit more efficient in those positions. And like I said, they've got multiple players, 3 that are putting up a lot of points. So that's going to be hard for us. But we had a nice little, test against UCLA to know that we can go out there and still compete with those high-level teams. It's just a matter of executing on our side as well. So Tulsa is a new coaching staff, and they did return quite a few players from last year, so we can at least get an idea. But they've got 1 player, 1 outside, that's doing the majority of the work for them, that's almost scoring 5 points per set. If I'm not mistaken, they only played 2 matches, so it's a small sample size, but I mean, she's the one that's got to carry the load for them. So one of 2 things, we either try to figure out a way to slow her down a little bit, or it's kind of the old saying, let her go at it and make sure you stop everybody else, thinking that 1 player can't win for you. And then Drake is going to be a great test for us. They have got, they've had a good thing going here for the last couple years, and they are just a really disciplined team with a bunch of different weapons, and honestly, what we kind of want to become this year and in the next year, because we return so much. But it is, from a coaching standpoint, and then in the future, a scouting standpoint, or I should say an evaluation standpoint on us. I mean, it is going to be a great match for us to be able to watch on film afterwards and just say, this is what I've been talking to you about out of position here, or you are in position to start, but as the play develops, then some mistakes start to happen. And Drake is going to be that team that is going to exploit that and show you where your weaknesses are. And then hopefully we get to learn from that and be better because of it.
So coming off of a match against the UCLA where we played, maybe one of our best matches, of this so far this season.
Yes.
In terms of execution and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, you would have liked to have played Jackson State on Tuesday to see, where that carryover is, but maybe there's a little correlation into staying in that sort of mindset, knowing we're going up against some top-tier teams immediately. That we have to stay in that focus, stay in that execution to know that we need to be there in order to be successful this weekend as well.
I wouldn't argue with that, and honestly, that's why I scheduled tougher this year, knowing that what we had returning, knowing that we needed to take another step as far as just the level of consistency and level of play to be able to push the top teams in the Southland, just play tougher teams. To where, again, like I said about Drake, when you don't do that, those teams they're gonna show you, and that's why they're gonna win, and that's why they're good. And it's just, again, that repetitiveness of just having those teams say, if you want to be lazy here, if you want to be inefficient here, you're going to lose. And to learn that and to get that in your brain, like you said, about staying at a high level so that we can carry that over into conference.
And then just the general trip nature of this. I mean, this is I think the farthest west that the volleyball team has gone since before you were here, 2005. Getting on a plane, doing, really, obviously you do bus trips and all that sort of stuff, but it feels like maybe a little bit more we're all going together, and it's, team building, that sort of stuff that you can really, enjoy a little bit more.
I think it'll be a fun experience. So I worked for a couple years in Montana, gone out to Washington State several times when I was there. I think it's a great college town for volleyball specifically. They have a great fan base. It's a somewhat unique gym, and honestly, I guess it's a little bit kind of like SFA's gym, in that where the stands are raised and up above you, but you feel like they're on top of you. It's a great place to play, and so for that environment alone, I think it is going to be a great experience for us. And then anything different is usually fun. So, I mean, I've been in conferences where we flew every single weekend, and it's the norm, and it's a pain. And then those few road trips that we would decide to bus, that was different, and you're like, oh, this is fun, right. It's whatever you're stuck with on a consistent basis gets old and boring. So this will be a fun experience for us to do something different, and I think we'll enjoy it.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much, and well, I'll be up there with you guys in Washington State, so it'll be a fun little trip for me too. So thanks so much.
Thanks.